Welcome to Meganet Gaming, and this is going to be a review for an MMO, which I'm going to do the reviews 20 hours in, and then after I've done the end game content for a while, I'm going to go ahead and do an updated review. Given that most people, if they can't find enjoyment in the first 20 hours, are unlikely to persist past that. So the first game that we're going to take a look at is Lord of the Rings Online, game that was originally developed by Turbine, which branched off into Standing Stone Games. It's been published by Midway Games, Warner Brothers, and Daybreak is the publisher at the moment. There was a point in time when Azeron's Call 1 and 2, Lord of the Rings Online, and Dungeons and Dragons Online were all being developed by Turbine, with Azeron's Call being one of the original 3D MMOs being released in the 90s, a little bit after EverQuest. And if you're going to count Meridian 59, it was a few years after that, but still, it was pre-World of Warcraft, pre-Star Wars Galaxies, and pre a lot of other games. This has been a game that I've revisited a couple of times, but haven't given it a serious playthrough till now. So, basically it's an MMORPG, available for Microsoft Windows and Mac OS X. And the main storyline is presented as a series of books, which are all related to the canon of the series. You have the Volume 1, which is Shadows of Angmar, and it goes on from there. This game was initially released April 24th of 2007, and had a period of time where it was one of the most popular games, competing with World of Warcraft. So we'll start off with the sound and the graphics. This sound effects are rather basic, but they're good enough for an MMORPG. There's nothing that's especially weak here. But the music's almost perfect. About all the tracks are well designed, memorable, and fit the setting quite well. Graphics are about what you'd expect from a 3D MMORPG that's subscription-based in the mid-2000s, with some updates to make it a bit higher resolution. Not the most impressive graphics, but the graphics are good enough. There are some issues though, as far as the water itself doesn't look bad. In World of Warcraft, this time you actually swim under the water. But the landscape does make quite a bit of use of different topography. Makes use of different geography and weather to create quite a beautiful environment. And also has day and night cycles that are done quite well. But the NPCs don't seem to really respond to the day and night cycles, which is a bit of a disappointment, but not unheard of for an MMORPG.
I've no chuck with strangers.
The main things I look
Oi there, give me a moment.
The world needs to be open and expansive, and it needs to be a world where either it's a sandbox world, where there's enough tools there for player choice to really create the experience, or it needs to be tied to a set of lore that might not be realistic, but it needs to be consistent and coherent. This falls more on the story-driven MMO side with lots of quests, and even though many are of the fetch quest variety, most of them end up being quite fun anyway, with quite a bit of variety in quests. There are some pay-to-win style things you can buy in the store since this is now free to play. But you can just play the game normally and be just fine. It just might take you a little bit longer to get through some of the quests. And from the people I've spoken to, it doesn't really impact the PvP enemies. Yeah, all of the crafting, there's a variety of crafting jobs you can do in this game. Here's some that are under the gathering, processing, and making steps to that. You can call under professional education, explore, tailor, This is imbued jewelry for the most part, so it does have staff bonuses. The arms and weaponsmith, that creates weapons. Your woodworker, that creates weapons out of wood, which includes staves, spears, clubs, etc. And you have your farmer, cook, where you have the farming crops and making food. So, an important thing to keep in mind when you're picking a class, or you're picking your crafting, is you want to have stuff that goes together and that it's either useful for your guild, or if you're playing mostly solo, is useful for you personally. If you're using mostly melee weapons and have heavy armor, then a blacksmith type thing or a weaponsmith might be useful. If you're mostly some type of mage style character, those would not be terribly useful. With crafting facilities throughout the world, the game goes out of its way to try to get weapons sketched by somebody. So the crafting system is not the most impressive, the most interesting crafting system. It does cover quite a few items. It's quite a few tiers. And it's what it'd be the minimum for a really good MMO. So it's definitely way above average for looking at all MMOs out there. You have a variety of races you can pick from, as well as different classes. I'll go over those briefly. Those do impact your starting zone. If you're well versed in Lord of the Rings, you'll have no issue at all understanding which races and classes go together. hotkeys aim to combine. You have quite a few skills that are useful in certain situations, and as you get up there in level, combat does become rather strategic. As far as you have 4 basic races, you're just doing free to play. Humans, dwarves, elves, and hobbits. Hobbits can be minstrels, guardians, hunters, and burglars. Elves can be minstrels, guardians, hunter, war master, and champion. Dwarves can be the same as elves, except not war master. And humans can be essentially any class. So with those, widest variety of races and classes out of it in the RPG, but it does fit the lore setting, so it's sufficient. Is basically your bard or magic type character. Do have with this game, if you enjoy games that are heavy on quests, there's more than enough quests to keep you busy. Even some towns have a good dozen or more quests in there. Wide variety. Some yeah, the game is Galaxy's type game. The story and world are done quite well. So far, 20 hours in, I've had a lot of fun playing this game. It's not the best MMO I've ever played, but it's one of the top 10 MMORPGs I've played as far as personal preference. Really gotten into it, had a lot of fun. And as such, I'm going to put on the list around I'll put on the list at a B+. And I'm going to put it in the B+ range. I'm gonna put it I'll actually have to take a look at quite a few B+ games, but it's going to be on the upper end of the B+ range. You enjoy Lord of the Rings, enjoy
Oh, woe is
role-playing
me!
games. I want a game that's heavily focused on story, but not completely discarding a world where you can interact with other people. And this is a game to get. It does do the story-driven model in such a way where it doesn't play like a single-player game like Elder Scrolls or Star Wars, The Old Republic. And there's just enough here that somebody that's an older MMO player should find something of interest to keep them occupied for a while. So, hope you